Diamond Ryan here again. This is a part of a journal I'm keeping by videotape of my experience and ordeal, for lack of a better word, that I experienced at the hands of what I have deemed as now a predator. And I say that because my case, my situation, was not the only women violated by this individual. I'm coming forward now because of the series of events that occurred in my life. I was taken to a place where I lost my voice. I couldn't speak. I was afraid. I had become disempowered. Me, Diamond, fun-loving, all-around, outgoing Diamond, singer, songwriter, the person with a voice that loved to project in my poetry, silenced. For an undeterminable amount of time. Lost in a tunnel of darkness without even a glimmer of light at its end. I found myself spiraling into a depth of fear, terrorism, civil liberties being taken away by force, by pen, by paper, by words and lips and mouths that chattered misguided truths that carried on the reign, either knowingly or unknowingly. There were many involved that helped my predator, which is why I think that this is timely for me to do this piece, because the reason that some of us are silenced isn't because we never come forward. It isn't because we don't apply for the restraining orders. It isn't because we don't enter the battered women's shelters. It isn't because we don't become dysfunctional, lost, and homeless. It isn't because we've decided to press charges and then revoke charges. Some of us have stood up against our violators, trying to use the due process of the system, of our judicial system, to process people of this kind, to take the stigmatism off the word domestic violence and let it be realized it's just purely violence against another. I was assaulted, and it did not matter if I was married to this person. It does not matter if I knew this person. It does not matter if I was related to this person. I was assaulted. My life was nearly taken. My children have suffered. Years have been lost. There has been no restitution. There has been no restoration, and there has been no prosecution. Why does it continue? Because our system is flawed. Because there are paper pushers in positions in our civil judicial system, in the process of things that know one another, that turns a different head or does a favor or believes in this person's name, and so they wouldn't want anything to blemish that character, regardless to what they're doing to another. In my case, there was no father I could call. My father is deceased. I have not really ever had support of the two brothers that I've had in my entire life, so there were never a system that I could rely on. Family members, non-existent. The only family I have is the one I've created, and my children. And I believe that if I raised them right, even in America, pursuing the American dream, that if I did the right things, that we would make it through. And what occurred nearly cost me everything. I have been in impoverished situations before, and I climbed and excelled my way out to a point of making a six-figure income as a single black woman with children without a degree and a family support system. had a husband, and that will be another tape, and more court records involving guns this time, and the wrestling over a weapon to try and save your life because someone else wants out of the relationship and don't have enough gonads to just come to you and speak to you and talk to you as an adult. They enter into relationships as adults, but when it comes time to part ways, or you find another, or your nose gets open, or you want to do something that's unchristian, unbecoming of a marriage, it's time to have a conversation. No woman should ever be beaten on. No woman should be ever mentally caged by words. No woman's light should ever be snuffed out. She is the giver of education. She is the breeder of the world. And that's not to say that women are better or superior in any means, because there are children out there that are being abused that should not have to go through that. But we turn a blind eye to the mother who is the mother of this child, or the mother who is abusing that child. I've seen things, wanted to say things, like many other people. I wanted to say things. I saw things. And all I could do was pray, because the system would have caused just as much harm to the individual that was being in the midst of harm at the time. Sure, they'll move you out of your home. Flee the home, run the home. The moment you leave your home, you've given up your sense of stability. You've given up, you've got lost it because you're afraid. An incident, a circumstance in your life makes you change and alter everything in your life. So now your child no longer has a bed to sleep in. Your child no longer has his teddy bear. And you flee and you run. And guess what? The way America's rolling and twirling now, the next relationship you get, you'll be fleeing and running too. Or the next state or city. Because it's spreading all across America as if this is a black plague that is unseen. Because we've given it a name called domestic violence. Domestic as in U.S. violence, and that makes it okay, or domestic as in tame violence, and there's nothing tame about violence. So I'm a little lost there, so maybe somebody can comment and clear that one up for me. But I digress about this a little bit, because my ordeal was a little bit different in the circumstances that it involved judicial and elected officials continuing the terror. We'll pick this up in a moment.